How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Laughing here, and today we are talking about Battlefield 6. Once again, we got Tom Henderson on the Twitters with a very strange leak in the form of a drawing. And we also have an article that I think shines a good light on the potential time frame that we can look at for the next Battlefield game in terms of trailer and potentially even release date as well. But before I get into it, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and we'll hop right into it here. So hopping right here, we're kind of starting off with a quote. The team is focused and the game is ahead of our internal milestones, Wilson said during a February earnings call. We will reveal the game in the spring and deliver a defining Battlefield experience for our players in holiday 2021. EA CFO Blake Jorgensen expanded on that claim, saying DICE is way ahead of where we were in prior product cycles. So to me, this really kind of screams that we can expect some sort of trailer or announcement for the game sooner rather than later. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, and I believe it's in a past video as well, one of the earliest trailers that they did was like early May. So I think that there's a good shot we could actually get some hard, solid announcements potentially end of April and beginning of May as well, if they are so ahead of the normal curve of their product cycle, which is pretty exciting, to be honest with you. In terms of release date, this kind of tells me that we could potentially get it in October. I think that might be the soonest that we'd get it. Could it come out maybe late September? Yes. I really do think that DICE and Criterion are going to take their time really trying to iron out the bugs. I have a feeling they actually have a lot riding on this Battlefield. The last two Battlefields were kind of meh, to be honest with you. They weren't absolute flops, but they weren't as nearly as good as past Battlefields, like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, so on with that. So I have a feeling they have a lot riding on this, and the fact that they have a 2-year development cycle with this too kind of speaks to that. I mean, EA threw Criterion into the mix as well. They're putting a lot of money and resources in general and time into this game, so I just think there's a lot riding on it. So even though they are kind of ahead of schedule, that might mean that we might get the game sooner. At the same time, there's still a good shot it could come out in November. Like I said, I think the earliest is October, but we could get it in November or even maybe late December, depending on how many bugs they want to iron out. Even a Battlefield 4 that sold very, very well. A lot of fans really liked. When that game launched, it was an absolute mess. I remember it. I actually had a suite mate that got like like day one when I was in college. And yeah, it was a real buggy mess at launch. And, they really needed to iron out those bugs. So I really think that DICE and EA really want to have this be the big Battlefield game going forward. And a big part of that is making sure that you take those first steps very, very well. No stumbling out of the gate or anything like that. Make sure the bugs are ironed out. Maybe we have a beta in August, September, with an October, maybe November launch potentially. We'll kind of see, but that's kind of my kind of hypothesis on when we might be able to expect the actual game. That was kind of all the more new info that I haven't really covered that much on the channel. So I do want to kind of cover what they're kind of hoping that is in a Battlefield 6 and kind of comment on it. So they say skip the campaign. There's no need for a campaign. Take the Battlefield Vietnam route. Put every effort into the multiplayer experience. Apart from the Bad Company games, Battlefield campaigns have failed to leave a mark. Battlefield 5's vignette-based story mode was at least a unique attempt to share untold stories of World War II, the same way they did Battlefield 1, but the campaign was short, linear, and didn't contain anything you couldn't already do in the multiplayer modes. So, yes, I'm really split on this one, to be honest with you. I actually had a really good memory of Battlefield 4's campaign. It may have just been, it was like one of the first big games that came out kind of around the same time the PS4 and Xbox One launched. I actually had a decent time going through that campaign. At the same time, I have Call of Duty Cold War, and I've heard that campaign's really good, and I haven't even touched it. Still haven't beaten Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019's campaign. So, like I said, I'm kind of split on that. If they kind of throw everything in multiplayer, I'm not going to be super upset. But I do think a part of me will kind of kind of maybe miss a campaign. Like I said, kind of split on it. If they do a campaign, I do want them to do more of the Battlefield 4 route, no more vignettes or anything like that. It wasn't bad, just wasn't my thing in Battlefield 1. So we'll kind of see what that. And the last thing that they actually have is don't listen to the haters. And they say, it's okay, DICE. You can go crazy with the customizations. We don't need 1,000 Shades of Green boots because there wasn't any color in World War II. Ignore the haters. Give us all the customization upgrade options you can think of, as long as the weapons remain balanced. Doing so will increase the replay factor, and having people sink 100 hours in the multiplayer to unlock that dope weapon skin. I know I will. So with this, I feel like we need to be careful with telling EA and DICE to not listen to the haters, because they have sadly a long history of not listening to their customer base, launching a product, it actually tanks, sucks, what have you, and then they have to backpedal a shit ton to get out of trouble. So, like, yes and no. At the end of the day, I think that they really do need to listen to their vocal, actual hardcore fan base, and not just the people on the peripherals that are just kind of just throwing shit at a wall, basically. So yeah, I think they need to be careful with this, and remember back to Battlefield 5 when that came out. Their whole marketing thing, like when it came out, was basically, we do what we want, we're not listening to you. They did not play out very well, especially sales. I don't think that's going to be a good route to go. I think they need to listen to, once again, those hardcore fans specifically. I think they really need to listen to those, because you get the hardcore fan buy-in, they're going to get their buddies on, and then their buddies are going to get their other buddies on, and that's how you're going to have an absolute hit of a game. Moving on from that article, let's talk about Tom Henderson's League. So I'm going to throw up on the screen right here. Yes, that is a drawing of an island or something. No. So yeah, it's a drawing of an island. The planes are actually like helicopters. I believe they're Osprey. It was kind of clarified later on. I believe even this one too, that looks kind of more like an attack helicopter or what have you. I believe these are actually all Ospreys. This might be like a Chinook that holding some sort of armor. That might be the case. But yeah, so we kind of have rocket launch, rockets, got a bunch of aircraft, which is really cool, on an island with some really big buildings, and of course we got a really big storm rolling through. So this does not surprise me in terms of Tom Henderson's leaks in the past. He talked about having a lot more kind of cataclysms, a lot of weather, tornadoes, volcanoes, earthquakes, what have you, kind of added in. I like to see bits of that. I don't think they need to go like have every map have to have some sort of natural disaster. I don't think that's necessarily needed. But I think a good old storm or hurricane will work. I mean, we have had a very similar thing, I believe, in Battlefield 4, and that map is a lot of fun. If you have rockets launching like mid-game, I gotta say that's pretty cool too. And have these big buildings kind of fall. If they have like multiple kind of centerpieces that they had in like Battlefield 4, that's cool. I don't think you can go wrong with that. I think that's just gonna be really cool. There's a lot of different kind of thoughts on what this is. It's supposed to be a tropical island. We don't know necessarily where it is. He said it's more like Hawaiian. So we'll kind of see. It wasn't actually Hawaiian. He's saying that it was kind of like tropical, like a Hawaiian island. So it'd be interesting to see. Kind of weird leak. But I guess I believe he got this from like a potential the trailer leak. This is kind of where he got it from. So interesting. Next up, he said this is what the island kind of is shaped like. So in general, Battlefield kind of does have a history of using real world areas and turning it into a battlefield, which is kind of cool, to be honest with you. So he said it kind of looked like this, and I think the Battlefield community is still trying to find this. I've seen a few kind of different theories out there. I haven't liked any of them. None of them really screamed what he drew in really either picture, to be honest. So yeah, kind of waiting to see the Battlefield community or you guys pop off and find something similar to this. Kind of cool map in general, though. I think on either side, have like an aircraft carrier for both teams, and maybe they all get on the Osprey and Chinooks to get to the island. I don't know. I think there's a lot of cool things that they could do with this type of style, especially we have like different rocket sites on there, buildings in the middle. could be kind of a cool map to play on. So yeah, I mean, that's basically all we have today. Nothing too crazy. I just think that Tom Henderson's kind of leak of the drawing is just kind of fun, to be honest with you. It's different. It's kind of cool. From what you guys have seen of the leaks and kind of what I talked about earlier in the previous article, what do you guys think? Is this kind of building up the hype even more for you for Battlefield 6, or is it somehow lessening it? Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of everything I covered today. I'm really looking forward to Battlefield 6 myself. This is kind of keeps on expanding the hype for me. I got to keep them in check. I do realize that, but man, I've been hungry for a more modern setting Battlefield game for years now. So I'm super pumped. I really hope that they can stick the landing. So I do want to say thank you for watching this video. If you guys want more content like this, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because I will be covering Battlefield 6 through announcement, trailer, launch, what have you. I will be covering this game quite extensively. So yeah, if you want more, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you do something great for yourself today. And as always, take care.